Today in this video, we're going to talk about don't fall for a clickbait mortgage. Check it out. Hi, I'm Rhonda Burgess, and I'm a real estate broker and mortgage underwriter here in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and my firm is Southern Living Realty Partners. I want to just say this to y'all. I've been an underwriter for many, many years. I've underwritten every type of loan there is. FHA, VA, conventional, a lot of conventional. Back in the day, subprime, bank statements, non-conforming loans, USDA. I've been an underwriter for everything. So let me just put this word of warning out here to you. What is the lowest credit score I have ever written that I saw closed? About 565. I'll be honest with you, about 565. And that was on an FHA loan of somebody who had just got out of, who got permission to buy in a Chapter 13. We'll talk about that later. But what I want to say to you is there's a lot of clickbait out here in the mortgage game. Don't fall for it. There's a lot of clickbait on YouTube. People say, yeah, you can get a mortgage as low as credit score as low as 500. You'll see advertisements online. You'll see advertisements on websites, newspapers, magazines. Oh yeah, we go all the way down to a 500 score. We go down to a 520. Let me tell you. Before we had the whole mortgage meltdown, the real estate crash, 08, 09, because everything was so loose. It was wild. It was a wild, wild west in the mortgage game, okay? So, yeah, you may have seen you may could have got stuff done. And that's the last time I did that. I saw that 565 FHA. That was years ago. Years. I ain't talking no time recently. One thing that happened out of the mortgage meltdown, the real estate crash, 08, 09, was that the lending was too loose. We was doing the NINAs, the no interest, no asset verification loans. We was doing everything. So there was a lot of money flowing. There was a lot of mortgages. People were buying stuff left and right prior to the crash. And then once the crash happened, a lot of, first of all, the subprime practically went away. Your subprime mortgages practically went away. Your NINAs, your low docs, a lot of those loans went away, disappeared, because it was presumed that loose lending was the driving force around the crash. Okay. So we come out of crash and, we go back to very strict lending standards. First of all, we lost a lot of lenders. Remember this, the lender makes the call. The lender is the entity, is the company, is the business that is lending the money. Okay. Now you have all of these different, lenders out here that just went belly up after the real estate crash. And so it got back to where there weren't hardly any mortgage brokers out here. It was all your big banks. It was your big banks and your big, some other big, like your credit unions. It was the big guys who was left doing all the loans. Okay. And so, you got your Fannie Mae, your Freddie Mac, which back those loans, right? You have FHA, which guarantees that if you, the borrower, default, that the lender will get back, 85% of their loan. And that's the same thing with USDA. That's the same thing with your VA loans. They guarantee or back those loans so that the lenders feel comfortable in lending out that money. So they know that if you as the borrower go, you stop paying for it, you get foreclosed on, whatever, they know that they're going to get the lion's share of their money back. Okay. So in saying that, I want y'all to understand that These people, it's just clickbait. When they're telling you they'll do, oh, there ain't no credit score required. Or yeah, we'll go down to a 500. We'll go down to a 480. We'll go down to whatever. It's clickbait. They're just trying to make the phone ring. They just trying to make the phone ring. Period. Because they know they're going to get a ton of folks that ain't done their homework. A ton of folks that ain't done their homework, and they sitting up here with a 520, a 530, a 540 score, and they thinking they finna become a homeowner. They thinking they really finna be able to close on something, and they know that they're gonna churn through a bunch of people, but they hoping at the same time where they're going through all these people with these low credit scores who ain't done their homework, who are not credit ready to get a mortgage. They know there's going to be some more folks who's going to fall for it and going to call. And you who have done your homework, you credit ready, you ready to buy a house because you've done the homework, because you've worked on your credit score, you've worked on your credit, you've made sure you got your documents, lined up, you've done the work. So they know that if they go through it's a numbers game. I want y'all to understand it's a numbers game. So if they go through enough of you people who are not ready, the people that they know they will never close, they'll get just enough people who have done their homework. Okay? So I say this, if you haven't done the work on your credit, if you haven't done the work on your mindset, if you haven't done the work, you haven't taken the classes, you ain't studied, you ain't done nothing to get ready for home ownership, and you still sitting up here with a very low credit score and your credit all jacked up, and you've been on this job 2 days and you've been on that job 2 weeks, and you still jumping around, and then you see this clickbait either here on YouTube, you see it on the internet, you see it on Google, you see it wherever, and you get all excited and you call these people because they said they'll go down to 500 and I know they can get it done, and I'm finna be, we finna do this, and then you get disappointed. What did you think really was gonna happen? This is clickbait, y'all. This is clickbait. Do not fall for it. First of all, if you haven't done the work to get your credit together, get your credit score where it needs to be, if you haven't done your own homework, then don't be surprised when you go with one of these clickbait lenders who can't underwrite their way out of a brown paper bag. Let me tell you, I saw a comment the other day that said, well, ain't it harder to get a manually underwritten loan approved? And they said, no, actually it's easier. That's a bold-faced lie. But it's a lie because I guess they don't really understand what underwriting is. They don't understand what it is. Like I did a video, I think it's probably been 2 years ago now. I did a video where I told you, if you get an accept, if the computer says accept, you good to go. All I'm gonna do is go down this checklist and make sure what was put in the computer matches your documents, matches your credit, matches what's going on. But if it's a manually underwritten loan, it's got to be manually underwritten. And it's normally, I've never really seen a manually underwritten loan with less than 100 pages. Just don't see it. So that's when I'm finna, you know what I'm finna do? I'm finna put my glasses on. I'm finna sit. I told you I'm gonna do it when I'm fresh. I'm gonna do it fresh in the morning, before I've done anything else. Because I know this finna be a monster underwrite. I'm going to have to go through these pages. I'm going to have to see what's going on, because a lot of these clickbait lenders will send in straight garbage to the underwriter. They know this ain't going to fly, but they going on, oh, well, the guidelines say, and remember, I told y'all before, what the guidelines say and what we actually do are two totally different things. Yeah, the guidelines say this, but the lenders are the ones who making the call. The lenders are the one making the call. And let me tell you something, 9 times out of 10, these doggone clickbait lenders, they do not lend their own money. They don't lend their own money. The only way it's going to work is if you are lending your own money. Then yeah, you can, because look, if you lending your own money, you really don't need a guarantee, do you? You don't need that assurance. But they still are. You need to understand that they send in garbage loans. Because if your file is garbage, they gonna package it up and it's still gonna be garbage. It's still gonna be garbage. And they gonna send it in to an underwriter like me, and I'm gonna look at it like, for real though? For real though? Is this what we doing? Because it's still gonna get shot down. There ain't no shortcuts in this game. You got to get your credit together. You got to get your mindset together. You may have to cut off some folks when you focusing on, what you want for you and your family and your legacy. You may have to cut off some folks, get over here, put your blinders on and get to work and and cut off folks that always coming to you when they want to, because they want you to co-sign on something, or they always running to you because you got $2 saved up and they over there just blowing their money. But you watching them on Instagram or whatever, or TikTok, you watching them kicking it every week, but they coming to you to borrow money. And so you gonna have to cut folk off when you decide that this is for you and that you finna do what you gonna do. But don't fall for these clickbait lenders. In fact, the next time you see a clickbait lender and you even halfway intrigued, call them and ask them how many do they close. Tell them you want to know how many of these subprime loans, these 500 credit scores, these 505 credit scores, these 510 credit scores, how many did y'all close last year? Because see, it's one thing to talk that, our underwriters will go down to a 500 score. Okay. Even if by some freak of nature, there's a 500 credit score, right? There's a loan with a 500 credit score and all this garbage on the credit report, old stuff, new stuff. You ain't been paying no bills. You ain't been on top of your game. You just woke up that day and decided to apply for a loan when you're applying with a 500 or 520 credit score. Okay, you ain't done no homework. This ain't nothing that you just wake up one day and say you're gonna do. But let's say, for Pete's sake, that 500 credit score, that 520 credit score, that file, it gets done. Do you know, you don't want to know what their interest rate going to be. You don't want to know what their interest rate going to be. Because let me tell you something. If the rate today, September the 5th, is like 7.53 on a 30-year fix, there are going to be so many hits on that interest rate because the credit score is that low. That's already going to be a bump to the rate. So we probably if we at 7.53, we probably at 8.25 just for the credit score. Okay. Manually underwritten loan probably has another bump on it. A bump on the rate means the rate goes up. There's a bump on it. Y'all don't even want to know. So we probably, okay. So if they tell you they can do this 500 credit score loan, your rate probably close to 9. Okay. So if we had a 9% rate, how much can you afford? How much is that loan amount going to be? 50,000? Where you getting that at? I mean, I'm serious. Like here in the United States, where are you getting a house or a condo or whatever it is that you want to buy? Where are you buying real estate for $50,000? Because when that rate gets so high, that's all you're gonna be able to afford. But see that clickbait lender, they're gonna be like, we get them approved all the time, but how many do you close? Because they can't be closing that many because there's not that many properties that low of a dollar amount that will suffice that high interest rate if you get it through underwriting. I just don't want y'all to waste your time with something that's never gonna work. It's never gonna work. It's never gonna work. Listen, I'm not saying that there aren't rare exceptions. I ain't seen it. In all these years, I have never seen one that low close. You can underwrite it all day long. You can underwrite. Listen, let me tell you something. If I get a manually underwritten file that's 120 something pages, my list of conditions on that bad boy, that means I've looked at it, and now in order to get an approval, I need this. The list of conditions on those clickbait loans, on those clickbait low score manually underwritten loans, blow your mind. Sometimes my conditions are 2 pages long. So you mean tell me you're gonna go back and get all this done? But see, if you'd have done your homework in the first place, you wouldn't have to worry about this. But you don't be so eager to think that just because somebody says that they offer this, it's not that. That's just not what it is. That is just to make the phone ring. So don't get your feelings hurt. Don't get upset because you're thinking that this is finally the answer you've been looking for, when the answer is to do your homework and get yourself prepared so you can get the best rate on whatever it is. Like I told you, we got so much going on now. So many jobs require you to have good credit, or you can't have all these blemishes, or you can't have a low credit score. Go on and get that done for nothing else but for your future employment and your future self, so that you won't be behind the 8 ball all the time. You know what I'm saying? So that way you have access to capital for other things that you want to do. Maybe you want to start your own business. Maybe you want to do other things, but you got to start with the credit now. But don't fall for this clickbait mess. Don't fall for it. You know what you got to do. You got to do your homework, get your stuff right. And then you ain't got to worry about them bottom feeders. Because like I said, it's just a numbers game with them. Get your stuff in line, get your stuff right, your credit score, all this good stuff. Then find you a lender who actually closes loans and who's going to help you and guide you through what you need to do. I'm sorry if that was a rant. I don't never mean to rant to y'all, but some stuff just burns my biscuits. And it just don't make no sense. And I hate it when y'all get, entangled with these folks and you get your hopes up, and then your hopes just get trashed and they don't call you back. They ain't got nothing to say to you. I just don't, I don't like for y'all to be taken advantage of like that and used just cause it's a numbers game. It doesn't have to be that way. If you do the homework, find you a good lender. Like I'll link Matt's information in the description. You find you a good lender, somebody who actually cares about getting your deal done and getting you closed. That's the most important thing. Thank you, and as always, have a blessed day.